Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Elder Trolls Gaming Podcast. If you are new, we are three brothers who get together and talk about gaming, and we talk about tech and TV and other nerdy things too. I am Take It Easy, Jono, and with me, we have the two trolls.
Nasty Nate.
And Dandalf the Wise.
And we can actually see Dandalf's face today because Nasty was in there doing some network administration.
Doing some nasty shit.
Doing some stuff on the back end, if you know what I'm saying, on the rear end. But yeah, that's good. That's good. We can see you. Perfect.
I think this is the first time in a year.
In a year that we can see you while recording.
While recording, yeah.
Man, last week was
What
horrendous.
a shit show. Holy fuck, man.
Like last week, two of our videos screwed up. So Daniel's,
It was a bad day for podcasting.
yeah, our last episode, I should say, not last week, 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
But Dandalf, he had no bandwidth. It was just not working. We couldn't even have audio. We didn't even hear his audio, let alone his video. His video was just a garbled mess, and his audio was almost as bad. So we had to bypass Zencastr and record hear his voice in Discord. So we had to do separate channels, and then Zencastr, being the wonderful product that it is, just stopped my video at 17 minutes and there was nothing after that. Even though in the track, it said full 2 hours, it was fine. Health, good.
Oh.
Anyway, there's no perfect
yeah, unless you want to spend
solution. No perfect
tons of
free
money.
solution, folks.
yeah. We've been free to play this whole time. I don't think we've paid for any kind of service yet. Other than the podcasting hosting service.
Yeah, the RSS. Yeah, you got to pay for that. You got to
pay something. You got to pay something somewhere.
You could say we're a not-for-profit organization.
Yeah. We try to keep all the costs low while keeping profits high. Profit margins.
Yeah, we're still getting to that part, I guess.
Minimum effort, maximum satisfaction.
Which brings me to the merchandise.
Hmm?
I'm still trying to iron that out with a local shop to do the printing and stuff.
Local shop.
Yeah, local to us. But I don't think it's going to be possible unless we want to charge an arm and a leg for a t-shirt. Unless we hold on to some kind of stock or inventory where I'd order just a random amount of different logos, shirts, colors, and just get them in. And then we just sell what we have, kind of thing. Because I was very ambitious with all the logos we made, right? We've got 5 sick logos that I want to put on shirts. But doing all that with different sizes, different colors, different garments, it's quite a bit. So I was thinking of just ordering random amounts of logos on whatever shirts and whatever colors, get them in, and then just show what we have.
It's not the same as doing a drop ship thing.
Because then I have to ship them out. Because then I have to go to the post and ship them out to whoever
Once
buys
again,
them.
we get screwed
Yeah.
by living up here in the great
I want to hear
white
from our
north.
listeners. How much would you be willing to spend on an Elder Trolls piece of merch? What's the maximum amount you would spend?
Yeah.
$5.
If higher than 0.
Cost? I don't cost. The t-shirts cost a lot. Just to have a fucking blank t-shirt, it costs a lot. And then to put the logo on it, for me to ship it out to you, it's going to be $35 for a t-shirt or something. It's fucking 35, 40 Canadian dollars.
What?
Yeah, man. Who the... I know people love us and all and want to help us. But I don't want people spending that much on a t-shirt because I wouldn't spend that much on a t-shirt.
Yeah, no.
Again, I've been shopping
my
around
t-shirts
for
at
band
Goodwill.
tees recently, looking at band tees and stuff, and that's pretty much the going rate.
I know.
So
We're not a band.
Yeah.
But maybe we are.
we are. We're a band of bumbling buffoons.
A band of merry men.
But that's where that That's where that lies right now.
Well,
Oh
we'll
my
see.
God.
We'll see what happens. It would be cool to have something that we can actually ship out for a decent amount, but we can't do much about the price a lot of the time. So I feel like there's only so much we're going to be able to do anyway. So the choice will be there for someone who does want to support the shop and buy something, whatever. It's going to be the same because I want to do that for my music stuff too on my label site this summer. So it's the same shit. It's like, it is what it is. If you want to buy it, great. If you don't, then fuck off.
But that's what I was. That's what I was thinking though. If I just have shirts here, right? There's no ordering. People don't have to order it. Blah 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 blah. I'll just show what we got, and if someone's like, "Oh, we'll take it," it'll be a little bit cheaper than if they were to order it and then me go and ship it out. Shipping to Vancouver, California, because I did like the most shipping. Like I tried to see how much it would to be on the other side of the country. Like $20 to ship a fucking shirt.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
They
Man,
can stuff it.
yeah, like come on.
Even to
Anyway.
Vancouver, like even Canada.
It was more expensive to ship it to Vancouver than it was to California. Yeah,
Shipping is so dumb.
it's so stupid.
Don't get me started. I ordered new skates. I ordered a new set of skates, a nice pair of CCM Jet Speed FT4s, okay? They're coming from Montreal. It's a 2-hour drive. It took like 5 fucking days. And then in the tracker, I got a notification that said a mechanical something issue, and it went red and it says status unknown. Mechanical technic what?
Probably got in an
the
accident.
trucks broke down or something, and they had to
What courier was this?
Purelator.
Yeah.
I would expect this from UPS, but not from Purelator. Okay,
I've dealt with a lot of Purelator, and their trucks are garbage. Like, they're fucking.
no doubt. So anyway, I got my skates yesterday.
Nate works for Canada Post, and he was sending me a snap the other day. He's sweating his ass off, sweaty mailman in the mail truck sends me a snap, and I'm like, dude, and he's like, it's so hot in there, man. We only have these little dash fans. We don't have AC in them. I was like, you don't have AC in these vans? He's
No.
like, dude, they're all from like the 70s, man. I was
Yeah.
like, they haven't
They're tin-
updated them since.
Yeah, and they're all
They're tin boxes.
They're all registered out of Arizona. They all have like Arizona plates,
Yeah,
so they don't
probably.
have to safety them or anything. Like U-Haul, that's what U-Haul does, by the way.
Wow.
If you notice, their
Yes.
plates are all from Arizona because
Built by Ocean View.
they literally can be falling apart and they don't have to do anything legally. But yeah,
Speaking of, I'm like overhearing Dad at breakfast this morning getting ready, and he's reading like headlines on his phone,
Oh,
and I
here
just
we
hear him say, apparently Jeremy Renner passed away. And I was like, what? So I Google it like in the side room, like not in front of him, and it's just like a hoax, like a death rumor.
Yeah, I can't imagine the news that Dad reads.
yeah.
To be honest,
Must
like
found that
And I
on
was like,
Facebook.
okay, so
Shocker.
that's not true.
Yeah.
And
That's
then the other
Facebook
one
news.
was, and he's like, still hope for crew of Ocean Gate Titan submersible. It's like, oof. I was like, Dad, don't
Can you-
believe everything you read, man.
can you go check his news sources, please? It's like The Onion.
It's probably like 7-day-old Google headlines where like, you know, like the dash Google News or whatever.
I could have been old. Man.
Well, now with that Bill C-11, Facebook's no longer able to give Canadians news or something like that. So I guess that's good in a way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know where he's getting these, but I was like, these are old headlines, man. Clearly.
All right. Well, you got anything else? Should we throw it in
Yeah.
game time or what?
No, here,
Sure.
guys, we haven't. It feels like we haven't been here in a while. Like we had showcase after showcase after showcase. We haven't really.
Maybe that's why I'm feeling like
Yeah.
it's been a while since.
Yeah,
I guess we did 2 showcase shows in
two
a row.
showcases with some buds we had on here.
I guess that's true.
Friday Night Gamecast, and we had Gaming Together pod.
Yeah, I regret
on
missing the one with Will because I haven't actually been in a virtual room with him since our first collab.
Since a year and
But
2 months ago, I think, or something like that.
that's all right. It is what it is. It's good hearing him on the show, back on the show, back in rotation now.
So I just want to, like, if the listeners have been following us everywhere, but like you should be. On YouTube, our YouTube channel kind of slowed down a bit over the past month, I'd say, just because we've all been pretty busy with outside work. The Headshot Studio kind of blew up in the month of what is it? March, April, May. In May, it was ridiculous. The amount of headshots and headshot sessions that I was booking in May, and I had a few weddings, so like I had no time to do fucking anything other than my side business. So I wasn't putting up any kind of content, and Daniel with his producing, and then Jonathan with his.
I have no excuse.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm not going to do it all alone.
Exactly. So we apologize for that. It's going to come back. It's going to be pumping back. I'm going to start doing a lot more PSVR 2 stuff because I find it extremely fun. And
you're
the more fun it is,
PSVR.
yeah. And not a lot of people have the PSVR 2. So expect more VR stuff coming out. I've been putting out some Ragnarok videos and my 11th place on the VR leaderboards on a couple of songs. That's up on our YouTube now. So on the Ragnarok,
Worldwide?
I'm about to explain it to you, and you can tell me if this is what it means. So in the settings, it says leaderboard settings, right? It says your platform, which is PlayStation VR 2. Then it goes over one. It says your platform with same settings. And then the last one is all VR platforms, and that's the one I'm on.
Okay.
So I'm assuming all VR platforms, that's Oculus, that's Steam, that's everything, and any settings they're using. So it's the most wide
Settings.
net. Yeah, because you can alter like speed and latency and all this kind of stuff.
Well,
Whatever, like that. And I just put it all on the leaderboard, and I got 11th place on one song, and I got 22nd place on another song. So pretty fucking good. Okay,
Is
pretty
that
fucking
last
good.
place? Like what's the number here? What is the? I wonder what the number of players is.
In the thousands, like in the tens of
Oh,
thousands,
okay.
I think.
I came
around
in
there.
last, 22nd place.
What was crazy was
there's 22 people who have a PSVR 2.
so
Uploading their
on
things.
on the PSVR 2, when I was just on that leaderboard, I think there was maybe like 5,000-6,000. I think it was out of 5,000-6,000, maybe 10,000. And I was getting in like the 4,000th place, and then I was getting closer. I was getting like 2,000s, and I'm like playing the game. And as you guys, like I played drums for quite a while, and I could feel like something's not right. Like I'm hitting the edges of the drums, or something's not. I'm like, what the hell is this? So I Google some settings, and people are like, oh yeah, there's a latency setting that's kind of hidden. So you've got to play a song, and at the end of the song, it'll tell you how off by milliseconds you are for each drum hit, and it'll tell you there. And I'm like, oh, it's like minus 9 milliseconds.
It's pretty good.
So I'm like, that's quite a bit though. I want it 0, right?
Well, I guess. Yeah. But
So in the
9
settings,
milliseconds
there's a
isn't
slider
much.
that says latency, and you can slide it. So I slide it to like compensate for the minus 9. So I put it to like +5 or something like that. And then I tried out another song, and I went from 3,000th place to 50. And then I was like, oh shit.
Yeah.
So then I ticked it over just a little bit more, and now I'm hitting like top 10s, top 20s, top 50s. I'm like, boom, there it is. So now that's where I'll
Weird.
practice in. And a lot of people probably haven't even touched those, and that's why they're so shitty and down at the bottom of the pool.
They're not min-maxing.
Yeah, they're not min-maxing their VR Ragnarok.
Yeah.
Huh.
That's all right.
Hot tip.
Yeah,
then. Hot
that's-
tip.
That's
cool.
pretty much it. Yeah.
That's cool.
You're gonna have a lot more competition after everyone watches this and
Yes.
listens to this.
Another thing I bought is Resident Evil VR Village. I wanted to stream it, but there's no way to stream the PSVR 2 and me interact with the chat. I've tried I troubleshooted it, I tested it. There's no fucking way for me to do it. So I'll just be doing it and recording it and then releasing like hourly or like playtimes or whatever it's called, like clips, like we did with the Halo thing. I'll probably do that. I'll film like 2 hours of me playing, and then I'll chop it up into the funny bits and release that. And that's how I'll be releasing the content for the PSVR 2 Resident Evil Village, if anybody gives a shit. All right,
Cool.
that's it.
I'll watch. I'm subscribed.
Me too.
All right. Should we throw it on over to game time, to GT? The ETG's GT coming up. All right. So I think we should talk about Diablo 4.
Oh, yes.
Okay. We didn't really get to talk about it.
I was hoping
last
we were
week
going to
much.
do an episode with it, but Daniel doesn't play it.
I don't know. I don't think we
I would play it. I just don't want to spend another $100 on another game.
I suggest you don't spend that money right now to play it.
Yeah, well, that's what you guys are about to tell me, I'm sure. What if... Okay,
Yes.
so for the people who have not picked up Diablo 4 yet, what is the problem? What are you going to start with? The good, the bad, the ugly?
I'll start with the good, okay?
Oh, yeah, and then I'll have my bones to pick with it.
All
Because
right.
it's part of this, yeah.
We'll start with the good. I have been playing a lot of it. We have played a lot. But
Yeah.
the good things about this game, the campaign is really good.
Mhm.
The story, the cutscenes, very cool. The voice acting, really good. The skill tree, diversity, and the options for different builds, excellent.
Mhm.
I'm playing Rogue, and I really like it. There's a lot of different options that you can create. There's so many different things you can do with your build. I created my own that I couldn't really find anywhere online, which is really cool, and it does a shit ton of damage. So I'm surprised that no one else is doing this. Like
What are you?
I am using a rapid fire poison imbuement build with barrage, and what else do I use? With a shadow clone ultimate
Mhm.
and a shadow step. Now, the poison imbuement and rapid fire is insane damage. Like I can one shot tier 4 nightmare bosses. Like if I poison imbue and hit
Well,
them,
Yeah.
the poison would kill them. I
Yeah.
won't even have to touch them again. Like the rapid fire will do half the damage, and then the other half would be just poison damage.
Stupid.
Like it's crazy. It doesn't excel in AoE damage, but barrage with poison imbuement will spread and does a good amount of damage. It only shoots 8 arrows though, so it can only hit a maximum, I think, of 8 targets, which is fine. But like it just does a crazy amount of damage, and I haven't seen a build on that, so it's cool. It's cool.
I'm kind of in the same boat. I do Blight Necromancer, so like a Shadow Necro. And some of the gear kind of pigeonholes you into using Bone Spear, and I don't want to use Bone Spear. I know it's good.
I use it on
don't.
mine.
I just don't want to conform to the internet's. You must use Bone Spear, so I'm not using Bone Spear.
Is that a skill or like a spec
Yeah,
tree?
it's like a main skill.
It's a core skill.
Core skill, yeah, that does do. But if I use Bone Spear, I can't use Blight, and I like the pools of Blight that do the damage over time. I also like my Blight skill because it pulls in all the enemies, and then I bone prison them, and then I fill that prison with goo, and it just like melts them into this goo pile, right? And that's what I like doing. It doesn't kill them very fast, but my survivability is up high, so I just stand there.
It's traded off, yeah.
And anytime, I think I have a skill, it's like anytime that my shadow damage or my shadow damage does damage or whatever like that, it gives me like a barrier. So like I always have a barrier on, like a shield barrier. My life doesn't move.
Do you use diamonds in your gear?
No. So I use
Use rubies.
rubies and skulls.
You should try diamonds.
Sapphires.
If you always have a barrier, if you try diamonds, your barrier, it will just increase your barriers
Okay.
more.
Okay.
You try it.
I will, because I got nothing else to do, which we'll talk about later. So, but yeah, like I go through just grabbing a whole room of enemies and just piling them into like a little spot and then prisoning them is so awesome. It's so addicting. I just like. And
Rogue has a thing like that too.
melt.
A death trap. The ultimate death trap for Rogue does that. It pulls enemies and goes and puts them all in a trap and does a bunch of shadow damage. So which I have used also.
Yeah, so a lot of people in the Necro build with the Bone Spear will use the tendrils, the corpse tendrils, which will pull, when you explode your corpses, it'll pull in people. But I do that with my Blight, so I don't need that skill, that's what I like. So I can still use Corpse Explosion because that's even more satisfying. I just hold my button down and corpses are fucking blowing up all over the place. I'm just like, man.
into like explosion of blood.
Yeah, and goo and Blight
Yeah,
goo.
it gets confusing when you're partied with it. It's like, is that yours?
Oh,
do I have to avoid that?
Which gets me to my next one. I hate Bone Prison. It's so stupid. This is the stupidest skill.
Yeah, I kept getting caught in your stupid fucking
like
bone
when
prison.
I'm partying with other people, it is the stupidest fucking skill. Like, why didn't they let? I guess this is another thing, but why can't my party members move in and out of that? Like, what the? It's so fucking stupid.
But you can trap your own party members in bone prison.
Yeah.
That's fun.
And if their dodge is on cooldown, they're stuck in there with like a whole bunch of mobs.
Yeah. That happened
So
to me a
stupid.
couple times.
And like whenever we're entering a new room, it's like just habit where I do bone prison. Like I do Blight, suck them everyone in, and then the bone prison. But I do that in like the corridors so that no one can get through the door. Unless you use 2 jumps to get through the door. Like it's so stupid. But it's super satisfying. It's
Yeah.
pretty awesome.
So that being said, the different options, different builds, good. Gameplay loop is fun. Like I said, but up until around level 75,
Yeah, man.
70, 75, then you're just like, what the fuck am I doing? Like, what am I playing right now?
And the XP is so fucking
It takes
slow.
forever to level after like level 65, 70. Level 70, I would say. It takes forever to get levels. So it's just like there's not much to do other than just dungeon grind. You're dungeon grinding from level 70 to level 100, which is
and event
insane.
type grinding.
Yeah, but
Wow, so the cap
but that
is
doesn't give you that much
100,
XP.
100?
Like the best XP is to kill mobs like much higher than you, right? So you have to do like nightmare dungeons at higher tiers.
Yeah, which are slow because you're not at that level yet, right? Like maybe not for you because of the amount of damage you do, but like for me, I found my special spot is like tier. I think I'm level 75 right now, and I think getting into a dungeon with level 78, 79 is like kind of the sweet spot where I can go
That's
through
not
it
bad.
rather quickly, but it's not as quick as I'd like, you know? And I don't see my XP moving. I have to do like 15 dungeons to even like see a little bit moving. Like, it's so stupid.
Yeah, it's very slow. So I really feel like there's no real incentive right now to try to get to level 100. And apparently I'm not even halfway to level
Yeah.
100, even at level 78 or whatever I am, which is not cool. Apparently level 85 is only halfway to 100 XP wise, which is fucking insane.
I can't fathom that. Like, that's bonkers. And they don't have another tier, like a difficulty tier, to just give you that, incentive to do another capstone dungeon to get into that next tier to like.
There should be like 85, level 85,
Yeah.
another like thing or something. I don't know. Maybe they're probably reduced the amount of XP. Maybe I would assume they're going to
I
get
hope
to
so,
100. That'd be
'cause-
nice.
Which brings us into the battle passes and the seasons, right? Every season you're going to re-roll a character. A lot of ARPG players will be like, duh, that's how it is. That's how you play ARPGs. That's what season characters are. But like, yeah, who's going to want to fucking do that? That's not like an ARPG.
I don't feel like doing that.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I'm not going to keep re-rolling characters every 3 months. For what? they better offer something pretty sick in these seasons.
I don't know why I would want that.
And the XP grinding is going to have to be a little bit toned down so you can actually finish the battle pass, but I don't know.
Adding more content would be nice also, yeah.
Yeah.
But like also, that being said, a lot of the dungeons are the same.
Mhm.
You know, they look kind of the same, and you're just kind of doing these things over and over again. There's not a lot of variety. So more content would be nice. Otherwise, like, why am I playing this? And the servers are shit. The game runs like ass on PC anyway. It's much better on console, but on PC, it runs like fucking dog piss. It's horrible.
This was released on June 2nd, and we're still having server issues.
Yeah.
Almost every other day, I'm having some bullshit with the lag, or I can't get in.
Last night I couldn't get in because
you still can't get in.
oh yeah,
I tried to get in this morning. I couldn't play.
Wow.
Like, you'd think they know how to maintain and run an MMO server, right? Like, they haven't been doing it for fucking 20 years. Like, what the fuck, man?
It's pretty stupid whenever you're like, I'm going to spend X amount of dollars on a game and then I can't even play it because of this kind of factor.
And, like, when you do play it, 70% of the time, I'm rubber banding all over the goddamn place. Like, I'm just like,
Yeah, I've died a couple times. Last night when I was in earlier in the night, I couldn't get on later, but when I died in like a tier 29 just because I fucking lagged and I was dead. I was like, oh, cool.
yeah,
There's one of my revives gone.
brutal.
But
And I'm just like, okay, is my network shit? And I do all my speed tests, and I'm getting my max. Like,
no,
it's not
that.
me.
It's not that. No,
It's not me.
no, it's the servers. It's just the game.
I feel
It's
like
just
they'll
fucking
probably,
weird.
in terms of the content, I mean, the game just released like this month. We're still in release month. So, like, you're probably going to get more the more they dream up. But the server thing, they got to get on that. Doesn't matter. They got to get on that.
It's brutal. It's fucking brutal.
Yeah, so I don't know. Take that as you will. If you haven't bought it yet, I mean, the campaign is really good, but again, it's not that long for you to, buy it just for the campaign.
Right.
It is fun up until around, like I said, like level 60, level 70. I had a great time till then, other than the server issues. But then it just starts getting monotonous. So, and I do have like
Agreed.
probably over 100 hours already. So,
Oh, man.
like well over 100.
Well over 100. Like, I'm at 50 hours just on the PlayStation, and that's not where I play.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, I'd probably have like 100, close to 150 then. But
Yeah. I'd say so, around there.
But at this point, it's like that's when you just like, okay, I'm kind of over this until something new comes out. But the only reason I kind of keep wanting to play, is I just want to see how much more damage I can do.
That's where they're masters. They're masters of pulling you in.
The reason why it's like, okay, well, I get another Paragon point. I just put it in 5% extra overall damage. It's like, okay, let's go run a dungeon and see how this does. And then it's just like, whoa, that was pretty good. Okay. And then, I'm almost at my next Paragon point. Oh, okay, well, if I get my glyph leveled up, it increases the radius, and now I get like an extra fucking X amount percentage damage. Like, well, that'll be cool. It's like, that's the only thing that I'm playing for right now. Is just see how much crazier my damage can become.
Yeah.
That's the only reason.
The other reason I want to get all my cosmetic unlocks in the wardrobe, because I'm a cosmetic hooer.
The cosmetics look really cool from what I've seen.
And my necromancer looks fucking awesome. He's so sick looking. And there's
so does
2
mine.
more helmets that I don't have that I need. So I just keep.
Did you get that one
grinding.
that I have that you didn't have? With the melty
with the
face?
face,
Yeah.
Yeah,
That one's,
it's
yeah.
sick.
Which is, that's also cool though, that you get them across your account.
Yes.
Because everything you disenchant in game or salvage in the game,
They're named something specific, right?
yeah, you get the appearance for that, so you can transmog your other gear to look like that. So on my rogue, I have salvaged so much shit. I go on my necromancer. I start on my necromancer,
Yeah.
and I can apply the appearance of all of this gear that I've disenchanted.
Yeah, but it's not the rogue.
It's not rogue gear.
It's like the named rogue equivalent for necromancer.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. Okay.
Yeah. So like I didn't get that specific piece for Necromancer on Rogue. It's
Right,
just
okay.
it's just it translates to something on Necromancer, so you get that. So I had like this sweet looking level 1 Necromancer that looks like this full tiered out gear. Even though I was like level 1, I'm running around and I look
that's sick.
absolutely sick.
Yeah.
So that's cool. But yeah, we're laying it out there for anyone who hasn't gotten it yet. That's the story for Diablo 4 right now.
While season 1 starts in July. Season 1, the battle pass. So
Yes.
what we were saying before is we got the battle pass included with our digital deluxe.
Right.
So I will be playing through the first season at least. I'm going to be re-rolling probably a sorcerer.
That's what I was going to do.
Or a barbarian. I haven't decided yet. I've done druid. No thanks. Not, like
You should try Rogue.
Yeah, I've pretty much played rogue because I watched Alma play rogue and I watched you play rogue. Right?
Did you watch me play my Poison Imbuement Marksman Rogue?
I've seen clips. Anyway, so like we said before, you're going to re-roll characters every 3 months for the season. You're going to get season rewards. The only way to progress the battle pass is to play a seasoned character. Okay?
Oh.
So the only way you're going to get those cosmetics or rewards through the battle pass is if you start a brand new character and go through it. A lot of people
to start
are
a
pissed about
World
that.
Tier 2 again and do the whole thing again.
Yep. Everything resets. Everything. So that's why I stopped playing my alts because I was like, what's the point?
Yeah, there's no point in playing an alt. I have an alt at like
So-
level 40 now.
Exactly.
Level 4.
I had a druid at level 40. And I'm not going to re-roll that until they fix druid. That's another conversation for another day. I just want to say, what do you want to see in the season? Like, what would make you want to re-roll a character? Not re-roll. Roll a new character.
Roll
to
a
play
new
through the season.
character. I mean, the rewards would have to be they have to be good. Well, we don't know what they are yet, right?
Exactly, no. All we know is they're cosmetic because they swear to us.
They're only cosmetic? I guess that makes sense.
They swear to us that there's going to be no pay to win. And we talk with Philman a lot about this because he's majorly into
Rod
Path
the
of
Bod.
Exile. Yeah. And he's like an ARPG wizard, I guess you'd say. But he's like, yeah, this is what they do, yada, yada, yada. But he's like, he wants it to be a certain way.
He's also a weirdo that like skips every cutscene and didn't do the story. He just
fun.
cares about
We grilled
grinding.
about that. Yeah, that was good.
He doesn't know
cutscenes.
anything that happened in the story.
Yeah,
he doesn't even
yeah.
know what it was.
He just goes for the numbers.
To me, that's unforgivable.
Oh man, but like they've got to give us something so good for me to want to re-roll every 3 months, and I don't know how they're going to do that. I don't fucking know.
In terms of Battle Pass rewards,
yeah, like how Destiny does it is
skins and like
minion
I guess-
skins, pets, maybe pets that do something, like pick up my gold. Like they had that in Diablo 3.
Oh,
You get a
that'd
pet,
be cool.
it goes and runs and picks up your missing gold, so I don't have to go fucking circle around and collect gold.
That'd
all
be
that
cool.
shit, right? That would be fantastic.
Yeah, just mostly I think it's just skins. Like what else? What else is there? Skins.
Mm-hmm.
They're gonna put emotes in there probably. What else?
Stickers, spray paints.
Yeah, it's just gonna be skins, but it's cool.
Tags.
Like if you give us sick skins that is only available in the Battle Pass. I mean, that's what every other game does.
Mm-hmm.
So
What Destiny does is this is what I'd like to see. Whenever Destiny starts a new season, they started off with a big event that lasts like 3 weeks or something to get the ball rolling. So like if they start off a nice story event,
Yeah.
which also has some kind of reward at the end of,
like
you start that
a
with your
unique
new season
memento
character.
or something. That's
Yeah.
exactly what Sea of Thieves does. There's always an
Yeah.
event at every new season. There's
Yeah,
an event
okay.
that you do, and
Or
you
like
get
Apex with
something
heirlooms.
unique from it.
so shit
Yeah.
like that. Yeah. But it's got to be
I'm sure they
pretty
will.
freaking good. It's gotta
Like,
be
how
pretty
can they
good.
not
And-
think of this? We are three guys on
Yeah.
a podcast who just thought of that in 5 minutes,
Yeah.
and they can't. You know what I mean? I'm sure something like that is coming. It has to.
Also, I'd like to see more wardrobe skins. Like more unlocks. Like put 5 extra helmets that I need to go grind to unlock. You know what I mean? That'd be cool. I'd do that.
all right,
Anywho,
did you anything you wanted to talk about in the Ubisoft showcase or Nintendo Direct?
Oh, we played XDefiant with Chris from 1 Hour One Decision.
Yes, Chris from 1 Hour One Decision podcast. We played with him. We played some XDefiant, Ubisoft's new shooter. It's a team shooter. Is it free to play? Is it going to be free to play?
I think so.
Team shooter.
It's good.
First person, third person, kind of like a Division type thing.
It's like
okay.
is Division
like
first person?
No, it's third.
Division
I think.
was third person. It's like
Overwatch mixed with
Call of Duty. Yeah. It's like you have classes, you have little factions that you play different classes, different abilities, but it's more realistic. It has real guns like COD.
Right. Right.
It feels good. The shooting feels good. The gun
sound is nice. I like the sound.
The
sound
movement
works.
is nice. It's fast. Like it's pretty fast paced. I like it. I liked it a lot. It was fun.
Those kind of things would make me, because I mean, when you say something to me like, "Oh, it's a new first person shooter, team shooter," I'm like, okay, seen it all before. But when you say stuff like that, the movement feels good, the sound is really cool. Those would be the elements that would make me want to play it and maybe keep playing it over something else that aren't quite good in those little details that I love. I love the devil in those details. Like that was one of the first things.
If you could wall jump in this game, wall bounce, fuck, it would be sick. Imagine just bouncing off walls. Ooh, I love that. Like to me, Apex has the best movement of any game. So I mean, if you're playing on mouse and keyboard.
But that's also dependent on the game's style and aesthetic, right? Like it's got that kind of depends.
Apex is in the future. Well, I guess this is like semi-future.
Yeah, what do you mean? I'm putting down energy shields and we're fucking got like if you could just do a little wall bounce.
I'd say this game's like 30
context.
years in the future. I was playing the Dead Sick, the hacker guy with the spider bot. You throw down your spider bot, which takes fucking like 10 seconds to put the spider bot down, so you're completely open.
Like a crypto drone.
Yeah, but like the thing is, it's very powerful when you put that spider bot down because it searches the closest enemy and it goes to them, right?
Okay.
So like I'm always getting shot in the back every single time. So every time every time I take the 2 minutes it takes to run from our base to the objective zone, just like Overwatch, same thing. You get to the objective zone, I throw down my spider bot and I can like kind of set myself up because then I know the spider bot's got my back. So it'll go and search out anybody who's kind of near me. But if I forget to put that spider bot down, like someone shoots me in the back like almost every time. Every time they find a way from behind me. I'm like, how the fuck?
You just have to know the maps. That's probably just knowing the maps and knowing the spots to the angles to check.
And looking at my mini map, just checking my mini map to see what openings behind me. Like if there's 3 corridors behind me, then I'm gonna get shot in the fucking back. Like I was not looking.
Know your
at the minimap
surroundings.
much. Yeah.
Know your enemy.
Other than that, we had a blast.
From
We had
Raz
some
Al
fun.
Ghul.
Raz Al Gulag.
So, check it out. Me and Dan actually got our Starfield Collector's Edition controllers.
I did.
I did.
I kind of want to go grab my box and show the camera, but I'm not going to. This is
Here we go. See that? It's got it's got the controls of your ship and all that.
Is that going to match in the game, you think?
Yeah, it's going to match in the game. Yeah.
Wow.
It's going to be sweet. It's got the rubber grippies on the back. Very nice. Very feels very nice.
No back buttons, though.
No. And see-through trigs.
Oh.
yeah.
What I would have liked to see if those little LEDs in here would have been pretty sweet, but there's no LEDs.
I actually had all this kind of down in my notes for peripherals for later.
Other than that. Oh, I guess
It's
so.
a beauty.
I forgot about that.
Beautiful
Yes, it's very nice.
little controller.
I like it. It's my PC controller
Nice.
to use
Nice.
for Diablo.
My thumbs have been quite overworked playing on controller on Diablo.
Oh, just imagine what your wrists would feel like.
Yeah, I just can't do that. I can't do that.
I can't do that anymore.
Point to move or click to move. It's just
Guys, I may have a recommendation for you once we start talking about our main topic regarding wrist fatigue and hand fatigue.
excellent. Do you want to get into it, or do we have anything else?
I had some game time, but it's really not much.
Yeah, well, you haven't talked in a while, so go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say that I did, as you may know, pick up Harvest Moon SNES on Switch online emulator, which is just so cool because it's so transportive. Like I was transported back in time when I first turned that on after almost 25 years. I was like in our bedroom at our old house. I was like, whoa, because it was the music and the sound effects, right? Like I haven't heard that music in so long. And I just wonder if like I played the game without those, would I feel the same way?
Because I feel like they're an emulator. Part of it. Like we never owned that game.
We didn't own it because
no, yeah, it was a Super Nintendo
impossible to find
emulator, I think. Mm-hmm. So I mean, the game's a bit primitive, but obviously it's fucking Super Nintendo. But it's beautiful, and it's just as good as I remember. And I do look forward to logging more hours. So I kind of started my farm. I named my dog, and I started clearing all. I was such a shit gamer as a kid because like I would never know what to start with on Harvest Moon games, but like my entire field is clear now of weeds and rocks and stumps and shit. So I can start planting right away, and I got a lot faster at Harvest Moon games. Beyond that, I've really just been grinding on Chivalry again because I don't know why I just threw it on one night, and I was like, man, I miss that. It's game. Such a good game. Yeah, it's so fun, and I still don't get mad really playing it. Which is pretty surprising because you just know how chaotic it is. I haven't tried it on controller. I was like, am I going to forget how to play this because of the weird combat system? But no, it's like riding a bike. Killing's as easy as breathing. But I have also been using the Vanguard class because for the longest time I was using Knight and Archer because I want to grind those up and unlock like the Warbow with the Archer. And the Knight has really cool armor, which I just unlocked a sweet set of like etched plate armor just the other night because I was getting points and just raking in the points. But I've been using Vanguard now because the massive like double-sided battle axe. I'm just noticing a significant amount of kill streaks because of its like immense reach, but it's also really accurate. It's pretty precise because you have these overhead swings you can do with it. You can still jab or whatever, but it's unique in that it has. I guess I kind of forgot about that attack, but with that weapon in particular, it seems to do a lot of damage. And I just go in battle axe blazing, just and I spin. And if you spin, which I forgot about, but when you spin your character into the attack, you do more damage. Yeah. You have to swing. You have to like turn your weapon and your body into the attack to do more damage. And I've just been doing that, and it's like kill, and I see all these. I'm like, yes, ultra monster kill. Yeah. It's been fun. That and some Sea of Thieves. I wanted to say I told you guys I had a Legendary Thief commendation I'm on the verge of unlocking, which is one more stolen Chest of Legends from another crew. So if they touch it first and I pick it up, sell it, I get my Legendary Thief commendation. I don't know what the rarity is of that achievement. I don't even know if it's an achievement, actually. But
check the list. Check the achievement list.
Yeah, I have to. Jason and I we dipped in the other night, a little sloop sailing, and we saw Fort of the Damned up, which is like the rarest loot. It has the Chest of Legends in it. So we saw it in the sky, and we're like, let's keep an eye on that. We'll see if it disappears. And if it disappears, it either despawned or somebody finished
Someone took it.
So we saw it disappear, and I was like, let's go have a look. And there was a little sloop by the island. I was like, oh, they're collecting their fucking loot right now. They're collecting that loot. So we started making our way, and of course the wind's against us, as usual. It's a shocker. Like every time you need it with you, you never get it. So we head to the island, we come around, and they're just like on their deck. I was like, start shooting. So we unloaded. They took off really quickly, and I jumped on to see if there was anything left in the storeroom. But unfortunately, they were quick enough. They got everything. But they circled back almost to kind of taunt us. So it's like, I took the bait. I was like, let's get them. So we went after them. After a long battle, they eventually won. And I didn't get my hands on their Chest of Legends, but there's always another... There's always another
booty.
Time.
You didn't get your hands on their booty?
I didn't get my hands on
that booty.
It was fun, though, but it's been nice. It's a great summer game because we kind of started in the summer. So it'll be nice to dip back in. But that is kind of it for me. I haven't been making commitments to anything else. It's just really easy kind of gaming. But at least I'm playing something. That's it.
It's been crazy for the games that have been coming out. Like, Jonathan... about the Final Fantasy 16.
Oh yeah.
Like I played the demo, and the demo was fantastic. It looked beautiful. I tried to do the English voice acting, couldn't do it. Switched it to Japanese.
Really? Because it's got pretty good English voice acting.
Yeah,
doesn't it?
the Japanese is better. It's always gonna be better. I'm sorry.
It'd always be better. Yeah.
But like, I'm intrigued because I was a big Final Fantasy 14 guy, and it's the same. I think director, game director maybe, but it's definitely got that intrigue and Game of Thrones vibes. I'm gonna throw that out there. I know a lot of people don't like hearing the Game of Thrones vibes, but I don't know. That's
Really?
how it is.
Well,
But,
speaking of Game of Thrones vibes, the first scene that I went down and watched
Yeah.
Pam, there was some guy laying in bed with some naked chick. That's
Really?
Game of Thrones vibe.
Yeah, and during the demo, like one of the cutscenes, like people are getting their heads chopped off and shit, and the blood's spewing everywhere. Like it's sick.
They're swearing too.
Cool.
Yeah, it's really cool. Probably not gonna pick it up ASAP.
Yeah.
I'm not a massive Final Fantasy guy, so
Maybe I'll play
probably.
it. I don't know. I have it. I own it, so
Yeah, you guys play it and then let me borrow it. Did you get it on physical?
no.
Oh, for fuck's sake!
I think Kyle, my buddy Kyle, might have picked it up. He's a huge Persona. The guy who's a huge Persona fan. I don't, because he was telling me the other day he was Jones and playing it, and I was like, so he must have got it. So I'll see what he says. I can report back vicariously because I will not play them.
I'm
I
sure.
don't think.
I'm sure a lot of our podcasting group of peeps will be gushing and talking about that. So we'll be listening to that.
Well,
Yeah.
do you want to get into the main topic here?
Yeah, I guess.
Sure.
I guess. All right, so today, I didn't even mention it earlier what we were going to be talking about, did I? So today, we are going to be looking back over the years of gaming before us and looking at some gaming accessories or peripherals, if you will. We'll call them accessories. Some cool, some not so cool, maybe. And we'll talk about a few that we use now. So when we say gaming accessories, what do we mean here? I'm going to say something like a peripheral for a console or PC that you use to enhance your gaming experience.
To enhance, yeah. That's
When
what
did this
Or
word
to-
peripherals come into play? That's what I want to know. That must be a new contemporary gamer word. Like I've always known
peripheral.
them
It's
as
a PC term.
accessory.
It's a PC
Ah,
term.
That's
Peripheral is
why
a keyboard. It's
fucking
a mouse.
PC
It's a-
elite garbage lingo. Get that out of here.
Yeah. So anyway, to enhance your gaming experience or help you play the game in a specific way, or way it was meant to be played if the game required something specific. So where do we start here? Do we start with our first memory of a gaming accessory or peripheral? What do you first... I assume for all of us, it's probably the Duck Hunt gun.
Oh, I guess so,
I do
yeah.
remember. I
I didn't
those.
have
I
that
don't know if
for
it was
mine.
my first, but I do remember.
I mean,
them for
what
sure.
would be before that? The Duck Hunt Nintendo gun. Everyone,
Just
a lot of people had it.
Yeah, like Nintendo was king of these accessories and peripherals. Like that's all. Like, that's what they've been doing their whole.
Yeah.
Like,
I remember
life.
being baffled at the technology. Just
Yeah.
like, wow, you shoot. How does it know where I'm shooting?
Yeah,
It's just so
magic.
alien and like advanced
magic.
alien technology. It's like, wow. And it make that clink, bling,
Yeah,
bling.
it's like the spring. It's like
Yeah,
doink,
that spring
doink,
in the
doink,
fucking
doink.
gun. Bling.
Oh yeah.
And we'd play with that outside of the Nintendo too. We'd have it like plugged in, like fake plugged into our belts or something.
Yes,
And we're like,
pretending
eh.
that we're shooting. Yeah, that is true.
And it had. I'm trying to remember because I'm pretty sure I played with that years ago.
I don't think we own
Maybe.
it. We
played it a lot of our.
Works.
Yeah,
That's
and
Squirts.
at our aunt and uncle's in Toronto.
Yeah, that's the OG, I think. Now, do you guys have a list of like fucking weird ones? Is that what
Yeah.
you had, Daniel? You got a list of weird ones?
I
You got-
have. Yeah,
I
I
have
have a
one.
list.
Wait,
of-
I've got a memory.
Okay.
Okay. Okay.
I
Yeah,
remember
I
when-
wasn't getting into the list.
wonder if it's
yet.
the
was
same
just
as
gonna
I
say
have
do
written
a
down.
list.
It probably is.
I have a memory.
Remember
as
when
well.
we went to Walmart and I'm like, okay, well, mom was like, okay, well, you can get a new game, yada yada. I'm like, oh, sweet. So then I see for Super Nintendo, it was Yoshi Safari.
Yes.
And
So
we're
it's
like,
the same
oh,
story.
sweet. Okay, well, see if I remember it the same as you.
Okay.
So we buy Yoshi Safari, we bring it home, and it doesn't even let us play it. And it's like we're missing something. It's like you need the something like super scope or something like that, like a bazooka. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like, no one told us that. The guy at Walmart didn't tell us that. Oh, make sure you have the
It probably
super
said it
scope
on the fucking
bazooka.
box. It probably said
Yeah,
it
probably.
On the
Well,
box.
did we look at the box? Oh, maybe.
Probably said on like the back.
Oh yeah, it has a little box that says super scope. But like, how
There
are
you
we
go.
supposed to know that?
Yeah, we don't know what that is.
Or it's like
The
mandatory.
SNES Super Scope. It was a bazooka looking thing, similar to the
huge.
duck hunt gun in the way it worked. The same technology, I
Yeah.
believe. I looked it up. Actually, it's supported by about 14 different games.
Oh wow, that's actually impressive. I thought it'd just be like for the one fucking the one game.
14 different games.
14?
Yeah. So I remember this
Oh,
story as being, I think we were out of town. We were in in Toronto, I think. And this was around the time A Link to the Past came out. Because we went, I think it was around Christmas, and we got Christmas money. That's why we bought this. Now, I think it was like a Toys R Us or something. I don't know if it was Walmart back then. Maybe a Wolco. Maybe a Wolco, if you remember Wolco.
Why is Walmart not?
Not back
Toys R
then.
Us, maybe,
This was
yeah.
like 1990
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yep.
or 90. I don't know. When the hell was that? 93?
93, 94.
So I guess we bought the couple games, and I bought Link to the Past, and you bought Yoshi Safari. And yeah, like you said, when you went to go play, it was just like apparent that you could not play the game with the regular game controller. You were required.
It was required. Yeah.
On the Wikipedia page, after Yoshi Safari, it says required for play. The Super Scope.
Wow.
Yeah, I remember you being quite upset, and we had to return the game.
Because mom wasn't going to buy me the super scope.
Thanks a
That would
lot,
have been
Mom.
sweet. Imagine she just was like, okay, we'll buy the Super Scope. That would have been fucking cool.
Another $200 on top of the game.
Oh, man, I don't know how much it was. Can we...
Google it. Let's see.
Jamie, can you look up how much
Pull
a
that
Super
up,
Scope
Jamie.
is?
Pull that
We
up.
should come up with a producer name that we fucking call out.
That we just say?
What is it? Super scope price.
Man, that's heartbreaking as a kid. You take a fucking game home, you can't even play it because you needed some other thing that you had to buy. And you're like, no.
Yeah, but
that's like the worst
But I
thing.
remember turning on Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past. What an adventure!
Wow.
Can you imagine?
I can't find it. Around $130, I think.
Holy
maybe.
crap! $130 back then.
I think so. I can't
It
really
costs as
find
much
it.
as a freaking SNES. That's
Can't really find
crazy.
it.
Wow. That's like total Nintendo fashion too. That's not
Yeah.
even that, literally
Exactly.
they have not changed in 30 years. That is hilarious. Because they would still do that
ridiculous.
today.
Okay. Well, I have one. I only have one really weird one that I had found, and I thought we had talked about this before, but maybe not. I don't know who the hell I was talking about it, but I had seen it before. The Rez Trance Vibrator. Do you guys know what this is?
No. I
I'm going to send you the link.
Okay, yeah. So
The
don't
Rez,
type it out.
the Rez Trance Vibrator. The Trance Vibrator released only in Japan for the PlayStation 2. It was designed to share the vibration load with the PS2 controller for a rhythm type game called Rez. They were like packaged together. You were supposed to just put it wherever you want, I guess, and it just vibrates. I don't fucking know.
Put it in your crotch.
Yeah,
Right in my
so
butthole.
there was a blog post from 2002 on a website called Game Girl Advance, which I will link you here to the blog post, where the author wrote a rather detailed article about how she was enjoying
I would
the
assume.
trance vibrator, let's say, while her boyfriend played the game.
Really?
Now, the post got so much traffic that she had to shut down the comment section. Now, needless to say, it was quite erotic and titillating.
I'll say. It certainly looks so. Bookmark that for later.
Yeah. So she tells like the story of while they were playing it and what she was doing.
Yeah.
But pretty strange. It just looks like a mouse. It has a
looks
cord.
Like
it's like a
cell
little
phone charger or something.
Yeah, it's a little block with a cord on
Yeah.
it, and you just place it somewhere and it vibrates.
What
It's the
was their plan?
stupidest- I have no idea.
If it wasn't
Who
to
made
fucking-
it?
Like,
Get
if it
you
wasn't
off.
for this, what was it? That's what
Yeah.
she's saying. Like, it is so weird, this thing. It's just
Japanese.
for vibrating. Oh, my God.
It
That
doesn't
is
even
funny.
attach to the controller or anything, eh?
Well, how would it
No, it
vibrate?
plugs into the controller port.
Oh my god.
Like the second
The
player
second port?
I guess. Yeah.
Wow.
Obviously.
That
It
is
was-
certainly
It was just
strange.
so women could be like, he's playing games again.
Exactly.
I might as well sit and hang out with
Yeah. Do that level again.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the one thing that I
that's good
found that
stuff.
I remember. So you guys had never seen that. You never
You
seen it
remember this?
I have seen this before, and I was talking about it with somebody, but I don't remember who the hell it was. Maybe it was the guys in the group chat, but
Yeah, it could be.
Wow.
It wasn't us because I
weird.
don't remember hearing about that, and I just looked it up, and it does not look familiar either. So I don't know.
That is funny.
Wow.
Yeah, there you go. The Rez Trance Vibrator, folks. You can buy it now with Rez Trance for $80 on eBay.
Add to cart. Yeah, I don't know. That's very strange. That is what the hell. It's almost like it's like teenage girl gamers could just buy it without her mom being like, "What are you buying?"
Yeah.
Nothing.
It's
It's
a
an
game.
accessory.
It's a new controller for my PlayStation.
Yeah. Gamer girls.
Fuck yeah. I've got the Tony Hawk skateboarder controller. Do you even know that this existed?
What?
I
Tony
think so.
Hawk.
Was it an
It was a-
actual skateboard?
It was an actual sized skateboard.
Oh my god.
And it simulated riding of an actual skateboarding in games. The peripheral, shaped like a real skateboard, is equipped with infrared sensors to detect motion and display it on screen. Turning, leaning, hopping, and other actions will all reflect in the game
Vibrating.
realistically.
For your feet.
Like, I don't remember that
I've
one.
never heard of this either. What
this was
the
for
hell,
what?
man?
PlayStation what? 3?
Tony Hawk games.
2?
Whenever they fucking came out.
PS1? PS1.
Well, Tony Hawk
Tony
1
Hawk.
came out on PS1, right?
Yeah. This was
Tony
for
Hawk
PS1.
Ride. Do you remember Tony Hawk
Oh,
Ride?
this is a different game. So that was for like PS4 or something, wasn't it?
Oh, PS3
PS3.
and 360.
Oh. Oh,
So it was like a PS3 accessory. That's funny. Imagine just stomping around in your friggin' living, like falling down, breaking shit, just smashing, jumping on like wood.
Doing
before.
kickflips?
and smash
What
it
the
over your
hell
knee.
are you doing up there? Oh, I'm playing Tony Hawk Ride.
It's called Punk, Mom.
Shut up, Bob.
Shut up, mom.
Fuck you, Bob.
So stupid.
I gotta have a look at this. Hang on, I want to see this. What's it
It's
called?
just like a skateboard without wheels.
I'll,
like
I'll
rubber.
put screenshots up. Oh wow,
That's
cool.
Kinda. I mean, is it? I don't know. Is that cool? Should I say that? I mean, maybe it was cool. It would have been cool back in the day, but I feel like
How the
by
hell would
time
it know what you were doing? What trick you were doing?
Infrared sensors.
They would need a accelerometer, I guess. Could know. It would have to
don't-
be
Like no one's gonna be
like you're
doing
blasting
tray
a
flips.
360 flip. Yeah, fucking tray flip. Boom! Your fucking board
gets
just going flying into
fuck
your
yeah.
TV. Like just
No,
smashes
you probably
your
just had
TV.
to like move your legs in a certain way. Maybe like it senses your legs the way they move. It's like, oh, that's a kickflip or that's an ollie. Who knows?
I don't know. Other
Yeah.
than actually doing the tricks as a skateboarder or a
We used to
former
skate, yeah.
skateboarder, I don't understand how you would do anything other than the actual trick. And it
Yeah.
is there a cable coming off it? You can't
Yeah,
you can't
I
do
think so.
any varial moves.
Rips your
or else the
PlayStation off
cable
the
just comes flying. Like what the hell? I don't understand. how
Pulls
this
the whole
would
outlet
go.
out of the wall.
You're busting a tray flip, and it's just like the fucking cable rips out and just starts whipping around, just smacking things. Like this seems
see.
so dumb.
Let me see if the
That is
had a-
strange.
Did it have? No, it looks wireless.
Oh, okay.
Obviously. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So it had to be an
Oh, had a
accelerometer.
dongle. Oh, so there's a dongle with a wireless dongle. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So it
Wow.
must have been an accelerometer. I
And
mean,
just like
I could
plastic,
see it working.
Just like a plastic skateboard. Like I would
Yeah.
crush this thing.
Did it have wheels or just a flat?
No, it's just a
No, it's just like a board.
Okay, we used to
Like
do
a-
that.
like a skate deck
Remember?
without.
Yeah, the deck. We would put our
Yeah,
deck
yeah.
on the floor before we put it on the trucks and like try to do tricks on them.
Yeah, man, that's ridiculous.
That is
That's what I
funny.
had.
I don't know. It's such a weird. It's a weird concept because like by the time PS3 came out, everyone probably would have rather just play on a controller. Like I feel like that was more of a retro type idea. It's like that people would have went nuts for that in the 90s, I feel like. You
Yeah.
know, like mid 90s or something.
At an arcade, maybe.
Like
Yeah,
Dance
exactly.
Dance
That's like an
Revolution and
arcade
shit.
gimmick type thing. I would have by PS3. It's like no, I'd rather just play on my controller. Thanks though. You know what I mean? Yeah, I gotta show you guys this because this is kind of what I wanted to contribute to this episode because this is what I was thinking when we talked about this topic. But I Googled because this is precisely this one word. I was like, what are the most obscure gaming accessories to exist in history? Whether or not they're, kind of recent that nobody's ever heard of for some reason because they failed or whatever, or from the
Trance
past.
Vibrator wasn't on your list?
Actually, it's not.
That's what I asked you before. I was like,
No, okay, so well, because now I know it is in fact not on my list. But yeah, so I Googled it. I was like, what are the most obscure things to come up? And geekedout.com listed 7 of them. I'm going to read just a little bit of them, of each to you, because I think that some of them
know
are
any of these.
pretty, you may.
Okay.
So the first one they have is the Pocket Sonar for the Game Boy by Bandai, and it was like a fishing sonar little attachment for the Game Boy. So you're playing this fishing game, and it had functionalities like a depth range, a handy encyclopedia for the fish that you're trying to catch or whatever, and a little like mini game. And I don't know if it was
So
if
you
the sonar
actually
was
use it
game. What?
on a
called?
boat? You actually use it on a boat and it uses
No, I
real
think it
sonar?
was-
Listen to this.
Huh?
The Game Boy Pocket Sonar is a peripheral for the Nintendo Game Boy made by Bandai, launched in 1998, that used sonar to locate fish underwater for the sport of fishing.
Oh, so not for your game. It had nothing to do with gaming. What?
Did it not?
What?
It also had a mini fishing game built in. So was this used to actual fish?
Yeah.
Well,
With
That's what
your
it sounds
Game
like.
Boy?
Okay, so that's what it sounded
Like you drop it in the water, and on your Game Boy screen, you see where real fish are?
Yeah, that's what it sounds like.
guess.
That's what that description sounds like. That is the most ridiculous fucking thing
That's
I've
wild.
ever heard. That's
Why
almost
it
use
does
the Game Boy?
That's almost
Well,
more
because the Game Boy
ridiculous than
came with a
vibrator.
mini game as well, like a fishing game for your Game Boy. So there's our answer, I guess. It was a game as well as a real sonar thing, because this article does say the Pocket Sonar was weirdly the predecessor to fishing GPS. So yeah, I guess that's true.
What?
That's crazy.
Wow.
That reminds me
Bandai. Thanks, Bandai.
Holy shit, man.
Yeah,
reminds
so
me
that's
of,
number 1.
I remember back in the day, when I was reading I would read Sport Compact Tuner car magazines and stuff. You probably have
Yeah,
some
yeah.
of those in the bathroom there still. They would use the Game Boy SP. Remember the Game Boy Advance SP? It folded like a clamshell. You could use that to display your car's information, like the tuning. You could use it to tune and piggyback onto the ECU. And I thought that was the coolest fucking thing.
That's weird.
Like they came with like some cartridge that you put in that had a cable on
Well,
it.
yeah, I
that
guess you
connected
can
to your
use
car.
these friggin' Game Boys for a lot of shit, man. Anyway, I'll move on to number 2.
Yeah.
This one was called the Skyrider Stick Station for Atari. Now, this is the one that would solve all of your hand tension and wrist pain problems, apparently. There's a picture
Stick
of it.
station.
Yeah, there's a picture of it from, I guess, an Atari ad. And it has the Atari all over it. It's literally a 2x4 piece of wood that's like smoothed.
Yes,
it had
I
a little
have seen
stick.
that before.
Yeah, it has a little stick that you attach your controller to.
Yeah.
And it says your high scores will soar when you pop that Atari into a stick station. The instant freedom it delivers will eliminate hand cramps and wrist fatigue, 2 of the most common causes of the dreaded low score syndrome. The 3-pound
That's
solid
what's wrong with me.
poplar construction. This is a 3-pound solid poplar construction. Gives you the
Just
arcade-like
a block
stability.
of wood.
Yeah, that's what's hilarious. Gives you the arcade-like stability necessary for accurate firing, and it can be placed on a tabletop or rested in your lap. The stick station is available from Skywriter for $14.95. $15 for this.
Yeah, I see that here.
So I guess it
Arcade
was just
action
to,
at
I guess it
home.
was just to stabilize your controller so that you could just like not have to. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't see how that would help. But it is literally a block of wood with a stick on it that you attach your Atari controller to for a more arcade-like experience. I don't know.
Wow.
Yeah, this
Because the
is so
Atari controller
stupid.
was a joystick, right? From what I remember,
Yeah.
it was just a
It's just
joystick,
a
and you would put
joystick.
that.
that you held in the
joystick and a
other
button.
hand. Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, instead of doing this, you just put it on the block and do this. So I don't know, maybe it would help, but $15 for a block of wood and a little plastic stem on it. So that one was funny.
Oh no, it didn't come with the controller. It's just the
No,
block of wood.
just $15 for the block of wood.
Yeah. Wow.
So, yes, this Game Boy fishing thing was used while actually fishing.
Right, okay.
People have YouTube videos of them throwing the little bobber in the water and checking the Game Boy for the fish.
There you have it, folks.
Wow. That is
Bandai's
sweet.
Pocket
That is
Sonar was the predecessor
incredible.
to fishing GPS.
That's
That's
awesome.
incredible.
That may take the cake, actually. For we'll see. Let's
Wow.
check here's the third one. So the third one is the Digit DIDGET glucose system for Nintendo DS. So this is not too old, but it's not new either. So the
What is
Digit
it?
glucose system, according to geekedout.com, is a marriage of fun and functional and was built out of inventor Paul Wessel's desire for his son with type 1 diabetes to pay more attention to his glucose meter. This little DS add-on helps kids better track their blood sugar levels in a cute game called Knock 'em Downs World Fair. This specialized accessory is designed to gamify better health behaviors, and that sounds like a pretty solid idea. So this little thing could allow you to check your glucose numbers in your blood or whatever, and it was just a way to help kids engage in remembering
or
that
not
shit,
to
be
ignore
responsible.
not to ignore their blood sugar levels and fucking crash while
Exactly.
they're hooked into Pokemon, you know?
Yeah, because they just don't eat anything or don't take their insulin.
Exactly,
Or whatever it is, right? So just put that in
pretty
your
sweet.
DS and pay attention, boy.
That's pretty
Wow.
freaking sweet.
So
for
yeah,
them.
that was that one. That was for DS, so that wasn't too long ago. Maybe what, mid 2000s.
I still have
Or so.
3DS.
Number 4, the sewing machine for Nintendo Game Boy Color. It was literally a sewing machine you plugged in with a little wire into your Game Boy Color that was like a pattern selector that would translate your design to like wearables, like clothes, like actual clothes.
Oh, cool.
Wait,
Like
what?
so you make
So-
an 8-bit like pixel design and then
Potentially.
it would embroider it through the sewing machine.
Yeah, I think so. That's what it sounds
a
like
3D
from the
printer?
description.
No.
Kinda.
No, an embroidery. Like an embroidering pattern.
Oh, and it would go through it'll put a little one on your shirt, like up
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
Okay. Ooh.
Right. Anyway, look, it just seems like the Game
pretty
Boy
cool.
would have the pattern that would communicate to the sewing machine that just like kind of did it.
So you couldn't put like a
automatically.
penis on my shirt.
You could.
Probably not. Whatever you could put
Why not?
in the
Whatever you
Game
draw
Boy.
in the Game
Oh,
Boy.
okay. Sweet.
It's probably just
I don't
made
know.
of
Yeah, I don't
pixels,
know.
Though. Like
I don't
Yeah,
know what the
pixel
software was,
penis.
but
pixel penis.
apparently
a pee-pee.
it never really
a little pee-pee.
it never really took off in North America though. Apparently.
Shocker.
So anyway,
surprised
that
I
was
didn't.
number 4. Number 5 is called the Pedicedate for Game Boy, out by Alcatel Canada. It basically looks like a snorkel.
Wait. The petty
Sedate. So it looks like a snorkel with a headset that you put on, and it goes in front of the kid's face. And apparently, it's created for kids, which is a headwear. It's a headwear vessel that anesthesiologists use to administer sedatives to children without, without scaring the shit out of them. I guess with needles and stuff. And I don't know where it would have been used primarily. A dentist's office,
petty,
maybe.
like children's medicine.
Yeah, not PEDO.
Oh, okay.
Pedo sedate. Is that what you guys are thinking?
That's what I was thinking. Yeah.
Pedo sedate. No, it's petty, like a
Sedate.
What's the doctor? What's the kid
Sedate.
doctor called again?
Pediatrician.
Pediatrician, exactly.
Podiatrist?
So yeah, I think it was used for them just to not scare kids to I don't know. It's very strange because like why a Game Boy? Like what are you gonna do? Have a
'Cause
Game
kids
Boy at the
love
doctor's
Game Boy.
office?
Because you bring the Game Boy to the
if the
doctor's
kid brings
office.
his Game Boy
They
to the
give them a
doctor's
fake
office, I
Game
guess.
Boy, and then this thing, it's like, here, put on your mask and play your Game Boy.
Yeah,
And they're like,
yeah.
oh, they put it on, it's a fake Game Boy, and they just fall asleep
And
right
they're
away.
just out, yeah. I played this amazing game at the dentist's office. No, you didn't, sweetie. Anyway, so that was number 5. Number 6 is actually wild, okay? This is crazy shit. This is from 1984. The Atari Mind
Good year.
Link. Have you guys heard of this?
Hold on. I think so, actually.
The Atari Mind.
This might be on this. I think this is on my list. Yeah, this is on my list.
Okay. All right.
I've never heard of
Should
this.
I talk about it here then? Or do you
Yeah,
want to
go
talk about it?
No, it's fine.
Okay, so the concept of a headband that could help you control a character. Okay, from 1984 by Atari. Imagine sitting in front of your old wood panel tube TV and just furrowing your brow to turn a 3-pixel wide car. But
That
this
looks cool.
article on Geeked Out says, oddly enough, the Mind Link sort of worked by measuring the myoneural signal voltage from your brain. But sadly, the public never got to experience it because it was canceled after Atari was acquired. Acquired by whom, I don't know. But that's wild. That's pretty sweet.
I had something like this for PC
Oh, yeah?
back in the day.
Did you make
There
it
was one-
yourself?
OC OCZ.
garage.
You remember when OCZ was a company? I think that
Yes.
was.
No.
They're not a company anymore?
I don't think so.
Oh. I used to buy OCZ RAM.
And SSDs, which were the worst. Anyway, so this headband would go on your head, and they give you like a software for it. And there was only games in this software. There was like I had like maybe one game was like a demo, and I had to walk. Using my brain, wearing this headband, I had to walk across this bridge, and there was like lava on each side, and I had to keep the player on this bridge and not fall into the lava using my mind.
Nice.
So I was like walking, and he's like,
You had
he's
to
like
use
going
your
back and forth.
brain.
You're like, shit. Yeah, you have to use your brain to like get him across these levels.
This sounds familiar.
So you didn't really get to move him that far.
Yeah, I was going to say. So nothing happened.
You're just like,
So what year would this have been? Because that sounds familiar. I might have watched you try this.
No, that was when I first started at the company I'm at now. So like 10 years ago, maybe.
Okay. Yeah, maybe
He-
you showed me or something.
Snake Factory, who was on before, got this like try it demo box of this
Okay.
head thing. And he's like, here, go
hilarious.
try it out at home. And I'm like trying it out. And like my guy would like walk a couple steps forward and he'd like move around.
he just
like,
falls asleep. He's like,
But that was fun. That was
Okay. But anyway, the seventh one isn't as wild as the Mind Link or the Sonar thing, but it's the Nyko hip clip for the Game Boy Color, which you guys may remember, but you just attach it to your belt.
Yes.
It was a little clip for your Game Boy that you could just carry around your Game Boy Color in.
like
Which
a
I
little,
may even
pager.
remember because like that's because that's nothing that's like too old. I probably have seen people with that accessory, but kind of cool if you wanted to look kind of like a dork. It's like
yeah,
the same
it's like
thing.
it's like hanging your BlackBerry on your belt. You look like a fucking dork, man.
Yeah.
Sorry
Yeah,
for anyone
exactly.
who does that.
clip it.
People do.
I mean,
still
I would
do
rather
that.
carry
Maybe
around a
older
Game Boy
people.
Color than a BlackBerry or a cell phone, I guess, but whatever.
I wouldn't want to carry a BlackBerry around right now. Pretty old.
But anyway,
You don't want
those are the
BlackBerry.
7, and I think the big ones that were really cool were the Sonar and the Mind Link. Those were the ones that stuck out to me anyway. The Pedicidate, I was like, what? And the sewing machine were a little weird though.
The Pedicidate.
Anyway, so those were mine.
That's
That's
funny.
exactly what I wanted to. I was like, what are the most obscure, canceled, and stupid accessories that have been available on the market or not available?
Those are pretty good.
Yeah.
Let's go back and forth with me and you, Jonathan.
Okay.
Okay.
Why?
So-
What am I gonna do?
Well, that's what I thought we were going to do. So I said my Tony Hawk thing first.
Oh, I'm done.
Oh.
I didn't have time to do this.
Right.
Yeah.
For
Right,
everyone.
right.
I have been
Yeah.
working all weekend, so I literally threw these notes together on Friday afternoon.
Okay. So this one's called the Envavo Heat Buff. So it's a tiny infrared heater designed to warm up your fingers as you type while not heating up your computer or your keyboard.
Wait, what?
Okay.
To warm
wanna
your
see it.
fingers?
Volvo heat.
Warm your fingers
Volvo?
while you type? Volvo?
Volvo?
Made by Volvo. Heat.
What's it called, Nathaniel?
It's like a
Extreme?
USB heater for your keyboard.
What the fuck?
and it like heats your keyboard and your fingers while you type and while you use your mouse. And you can also put it in front of your hands for your controllers. Because on those cold Canadian days when you're trying to game and your fingers are frozen, it's the worst.
What's it
It's
called?
true.
Volva?
No, the Unvavo heat buff.
Envavo heat buff.
It's relatively new. It's well, not new, but
Okay.
Yeah.
in the
it's not
last-
old.
I see this.
Oh.
Okay, I could see a use for this.
Mhm.
I have had cold fingers before.
I
While
hate
gaming.
cold fingers. I fucking hate cold fingers. when
Yeah,
you're gaming.
I see that.
It's the worst.
It's just like those heaters that you see on top of like the bleachers or the
yeah, the
seats in like
skating
an
rinks,
arena
yeah.
or something. Yeah.
Yeah. But man, when you're
It's a
trying to shoot
space
people,
heater.
yeah, it's space heater. Imagine,
Yeah.
is it USB though? Yeah, I think it's USB powered.
Starts a fire when you're trying to game.
So-
No
starts a
more
fire,
cold
yeah.
hands. It's
I
a
would suggest-
Kickstarter. It was a
Yeah,
Kickstarter.
I would suggest not using that. Probably pulling so much heat or so much power from USB, frying your USB hubs.
Yeah, definitely.
Another one I got is the Aura Interactor, which is available in 1994. This wearable force feedback vest
Oh,
was
nice.
way ahead of its time.
This
It
thing
converted
looks
sounds.
sweet.
It converted sounds into vibrations and allowed players to feel kicks, hits, bullets, explosions, and presumably a gentle caress. You could feel a gentle caress.
Oh,
Way
yeah,
back in
okay.
1994. Compatible with the Super NES, Sega Genesis, the Interactor was generally positively reviewed and sold over 400,000 units at a price point of $100.
Wow.
$100.
For
too
what,
bad.
what was it for?
Cool.
What console?
SNES and Sega Genesis.
It looks
Yeah.
like a suit of armor.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like something. It looks like something from
like a
like
Saiyan
Total
armor.
Recall, like that an enemy would wear in some shitty
It looks
90s
like
action
Saiyan armor, like, but black.
Imagine
It
having
looks like
that
Michael
as a kid.
Keaton's old Batman. It looks like
But,
some
like-
shitty Batman armor.
What Super NES game would you play that would like,
Duck Hunt.
double dragon, just getting punched. Getting stabbed.
That's
is
cool.
very strange.
That is a neat
Interactor.
idea.
Man,
Think
they
about how,
have
like,
they have more modern versions
imaginative.
of this for
Yeah.
VR.
Yeah.
Like,
But they cost like
Right.
so much more than like
yeah.
that would
and
be.
apparently
back then
they're
for now.
crazy. Apparently they're crazy.
I'd love that.
The VR stuff for that. I forget what it's called. The Umu shirt or
Yeah. It's an actual shirt though. It's not like a big ass vest thing.
Yeah, it's like a
Oh,
it's like
okay.
it looks like a compression shirt.
Yeah. Next one I got is the Booster Boy. The Booster Boy was ahead of its time. In another way, it was really, really dumb. The add-on clamped a magnifier, comically large buttons, and a sound amplifier onto your Game Boy, giving you a larger screen, louder sounds,
Oh, I
and
know
bigger
this thing.
buttons.
Yeah,
while,
I've seen that thing.
while simulating.
This looks like wow. This looks like a ship that. This looks like like Luke Skywalker's like speeder.
While simultaneously devaluing the main selling point of a Game Boy, its portability.
Yeah.
This
Seriously.
thing is just a monstrosity.
Yeah, I've seen that thing before.
So fucking stupid.
And it just magnified the screen like it was a magnifying glass that just made.
Magnified everything.
and made the buttons bigger.
Yeah.
You like clamp your Game Boy in it
Yeah,
to make a
Right,
bigger
you put
Game
it
Boy.
in.
to make
Okay,
a bigger
gotcha.
Game Boy. Yeah, to make a
Wow,
bigger
man.
Game Boy.
Oh man, what a
Booster Boy.
ridiculous!
Who's that made by? Saltec.
That is
Look
so
at
dumb.
This thing.
Wow, that's funny. Yeah, it looks like an
Magnifying
old
that
ship in
screen.
like Star Wars.
It's got these fucking balls on the top. Like
I think those are the
the
speakers.
speakers.
I think it's the speakers.
Wow.
Magnify everything. Just take a Game Boy and let's make it bigger. Make it so.
That is
Booster
so
Boy.
dumb. They could have just put that into a cable to put to the TV, and there you have it.
Yes,
a bigger
yeah,
version,
exactly.
and use the Game Boy as the controller.
Just a few more. We got the DK bongos.
Of course,
You guys remember those? Packaged with the GameCube games, Donkey Konga, and DK Jungle Beat in 2004. You could control Donkey Kong adequately just with the drum hits and hand claps. And they made DK Jungle Beat's rhythm matching into a party.
This has become like a meme, though. People play other games like with these stupid things. Like they try to play like Demon Souls or Dark Souls or whatever.
How can you hook it up with? I guess it wasn't
like
USB
some kind of
with
converter. I don't
Okay.
know. Yeah, and they try to play probably on emulator, but probably like try to play other games with this stupid fucking things. It's so dumb.
But that's all I've got for the thing. I've got a couple of honorable mentions, just like cool, kind of not revolutionary, but like the Wii Fit. That was sweet.
What
Was
about
it
the Nintendo Power
board?
Glove? Should we
Yeah.
not mention the Nintendo Power Glove?
We didn't have that, right?
No,
Did we ever try it?
That thing was probably it was so
Didn't
expensive.
we know?
I
Didn't
think.
we know some guy who's friends of the family who like owned a big toy store or something like that in the States, and we got to try it? Or was that a dream?
No,
was
it
I
was
dreaming?
different. That was different. That was not a Nintendo.
No, that
Power
was
Glove.
your dream that you had when they put the petty sedate on you.
It's like,
That was your petty sedate dream.
No, we had these weird gloves that made like music or something.
Oh, okay.
No, I've never tried the Nintendo Power Glove, but we should probably mention the Nintendo Power Glove, like in the Wizard, the old movie Wizard, Lucas.
Yep. The power.
It's so bad.
Yeah, so bad.
That's sweet.
What the fuck were you doing with it? Just like playing like this?
Yeah,
Why would you want to play your game
There was
like
a
that?
D-pad on it, so I don't know what it actually did.
But you could do something with your fingers. You
Yeah,
could
I think so.
A,
Yeah,
B, X,
Yeah.
Y.
probably.
Like,
There was
so
no XY.
stupid.
It
Why
was
would
just
you
like
want-
A, B, maybe
A, B.
start, select? I don't know.
why would you want to play it on your arm? Another honorable mention: Game Genie.
Oh yeah,
Game
Game
Genie.
Genies.
We played that shit at Wirtz like all the time. All the time. It's like, does it have a Game Genie support? And we just click it in, put it in. Oh yeah.
Find
SimCity.
Game Genie codes.
Yeah, Game Genie on Aladdin.
Oh,
You had
there
it
was,
for Genesis.
they
I
had
think?
built-in codes too, right?
Yeah.
Like if the game was already supported.
Yeah.
But then you could put in manual ones.
Man, that was sweet.
Game
That was
Genie,
so
Game
sweet.
Shark, Game Shark.
Mortal Kombat's like one button fatalities or something like that. You're just like, meh.
Yeah,
A.
that is sweet. Yeah, Game Shark was sweet.
Yeah.
We had a Game Shark equivalent on our PS1. It was also like a mod chip to play backups.
Yes, I remember.
And so I used it mostly for the Game Shark. That's mostly what we used it for. It was friggin' sweet. Like you look up online Game Shark codes, and what it is just altering the hex in the memory, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that the values for whatever you're changing are just affected in the game. So like infinite health, infinite ammo, like it was endless. The things you could do, like anything you could alter in
That's sweet.
that they found in the memory, they would put up a code for it. That was so cool. I thought that was the coolest shit.
Maybe we should do a whole thing on that. How it worked. A Game Genie. That was like introduction to hacking, pretty much.
Yeah, it's like
on
game
consoles.
hacking, yeah.
Yeah. That's
Cheating.
pretty sick.
Game
Yes.
Cheats.
Game Genie.
I remember I couldn't even beat Final Fantasy IX, the final boss, with codes. Like I tried for the longest time to beat that game, and I could not beat it. The final boss for Final Fantasy IX, and even with the Game Shark codes, I don't know if they didn't work. I just couldn't, or they didn't have like an infinite health one. But then I put it down, and I remember a year later, I picked it back up and beat it first try. It was ridiculous. I was so
You just
mad.
got that much better at gaming.
Maybe, or it's just like you need to take a break,
Yeah.
a year-long
Is that
break.
the one with the
year-long
little
break.
wizard,
And then,
the little wizard-looking guy was number 9?
Yeah.
The monkey boy.
yeah,
Yeah.
the tail, kid with the tail.
Oh, yeah.
It was good.
Right.
Yep.
Dance Dance Revolution. They had a little pad for that. Remember that shit? Remember you go to the
yes.
arcade at like Galaxy? They had the machine, but at home I think you could get like it came with like a pad that you put on the floor.
Yeah. They had they had one
Right.
for Nintendo for the track and field. Do you remember that one? Track and field.
Really?
Yeah, that sounds familiar.
Track and field.
Track
pad.
and field tracker.
It was just like a thing you run on, basically, and the person would run on the
Oh.
screen. Very
Wow.
rudimentary.
Man, there's so many, I'm sure. And like
But
I
they're
think
also-
Nintendo
Old. Like they
Yeah.
don't really make those things anymore.
no.
PSVR, like VR is the only thing they're really doing with like these kind of wild peripherals, quote unquote, or accessories.
Yeah.
They're
it's
not
all
really
gonna be
making shit
VR.
anymore because it's like the gimmicks. It's like people aren't buying into the gimmicks anymore. It's like, oh, it's just bullshit. Like just play with a fucking controller. I wonder why that is. Interesting philosophy.
Because it's not new
Question.
anymore. It's like, oh, that was old.
I was gonna say like
Yeah,
I
maybe.
have
That's
I have
old.
the PSVR 2, the ultimate gaming accessory right now. And I love it. I
And
love
maybe
it.
that's why. Because they made these peripherals, these accessories throughout the years because of a lack of something, right?
Immersion.
It's like they were trying to innovate an
Yeah.
immersion, right? So now that we have VR, it's like that's all out the window. And anything they like Nintendo with the booster boy, they have Nintendo Switches, they have like big handheld things where you don't need a huge screen anymore and you don't need to. So it's like I'm assuming the requirement was, what do they say? Something mother of all invention. It's like they needed to invent these things because the experience still wasn't quite what it could be.
Yeah.
But now it is, so they don't need them anymore. Anyway.
So things you use now, you're saying just your PSVR 2? That's
Yeah.
the ultimate accessory. The ultimate.
Yeah, man. There's a
I think it just
few
comes
like
down to what we have available to us now. Like the Starfield controllers, my latest accessory that I can't wait to friggin' use, but I'm not laying hands on
Yeah,
that.
but I mean, it's
until
not
I lay
it's
hands
not
on
really
stuff.
different.
It's not
from
like a
a
Are you
normal
serious?
Yeah.
You're not opening that up until Starfield? You're fucking.
Oh, I opened it to look at it. I'm not going to use it until I play Starfield.
You can already see the gummy yellow stains on my joystick.
What don't you? What's that behind you? You have another one behind you there. Oh, that's the
That's
box.
just the box.
That's the box, yeah.
My buddies did get the Starfield headset, by the way. Apparently, it's the exact same thing as this, but it's wireless. And there's like a little light on the tip of the mic, which lights up when you're using it, which is kind of cool.
That's cool. Well, things I use now, I would say I do definitely use something maybe not too common, which is my my Razer Tartarus.
Can you show it?
believe that's
Can you
what it's
unplug and
called.
show it?
No. And before that, I had the Orb Weaver or equivalent. I've had 3 different versions of,
Yeah, I had
of
one.
this thing. Just because I keep going through like the wrist pads, I'm wearing through them. But what it is, it's like a keyboard gamepad with controllable, mappable buttons. So I don't have to actually use my keyboard when I'm playing.
Mhm.
So it's just much more ergonomic. I can place it anywhere I want. I've kind of modified mine a little bit to raise one side of it. I've put the, pads that you put under like chairs and tables.
Mhm.
I've stacked those underneath on one side, so
Yeah,
it's
because-
tilted.
You're not like like you. Whenever you rest your hands on the table,
Yeah.
ergonomically, you're not like this. Your wrists are gonna get all fucked.
Yeah. So what I did was I raised the inside, so my hand is now kind of rested like this, a little
That's
more
cool.
at an angle.
Good idea.
So it's very ergonomic that way. Little tip to Razer: if you did that on the production model, that would be
Yeah.
amazing. But yeah, this is it's my primary input when using mouse and keyboard. It's what I don't think I'll ever go back to playing on my desk with a keyboard. Like never.
No.
I would never
No.
ever do that. It's not happening. Another thing that I use is Control Freaks joystick grips and extenders, which I can show. You get a little bit of extra height on the right joystick is what I use it for anyway. You can see it here. Can you see that?
Yeah, yeah.
The
So it's
left
a grip.
joystick.
They come in on my right joystick. I
What?
don't know if my video is mirrored, but the right
Oh, could
joystick
be.
for aiming.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Your aiming joystick. You can get a little bit height, little grip. It's a little more comfortable than the face, and they come in different kind of heights and sizes. So for a little bit more fine precision aiming, I use that on all of my controllers that I use for FPS games.
Yeah.
Well, and anything really. but I have one on my 8-bit Do. On my Razer Wolverine, I have one. I have one on my custom modded PS5 controller. Great for the non-pro controllers that don't offer that little extension sticks that you can swap in. So yeah, just for fine-tuning the height a little bit.
I don't have anything wild. I use a controller and a headset.
Really?
That's
you don't
it.
play with your Tony Hawk skateboard?
I've got
I want to.
the Chinese equivalent to Jonathan's Orb Weaver.
Tartarus.
It's literally, what is it? Tartarus. I got the Red Dragon K585 DITI one-handed RGB mechanical keyboard. Look at this.
There it is.
Those are cool. Look at all that.
It's
grease,
not
all
as
that
ergo. It's
smut
not as
all over
nice.
it.
I got.
That's
you can
literally just half a keyboard, though.
It's literally half a keyboard. You can map all these with macros. All these up here.
I don't think I can. I definitely can't show mine. Oh, maybe. Can you see this? No.
And with this new gamer gear spray,
Now-
you'll be able to clean that out real well.
Yeah.
yeah, you
And-
need to do that.
There's the wrist. There's the wrist. The wrist thing goes snaps.
Oh,
on
it's
there
like
with the little-
modular? That's cool.
Yeah. See, my wrist thing is nice and rounded, and there's a nice soft pad underneath.
No, mine's hard plastic,
Yeah.
straight from China.
Yeah, exactly.
Really ergonomic. Super ergonomic.
It does the trick. And then I have my small tiny keyboard. What's it called? The I'll show
mechanical?
that too. I got a cool little mechanical one that I've customized.
Yeah. I like that a lot.
True. True.
It's like
I also have
retro style with the kind of cool looking text on it.
Yeah, yeah.
that. I also have one of those.
Yeah,
here.
very nice. Yeah, his sounds much better. You can hear mine here. I'll try.
Same company?
Daniel, shut up. I'm trying to do some ASMR
can't hear
keyboard
anything.
types. Like that.
Okay, let's do mine now.
Yeah.
I don't know if you'll be able to hear it.
Oh,
This is brown Cherry MX brown clones lubed, and I took them all apart. I lubed them. I also took the entire thing apart, and in the base I put some rubber tape
yeah.
so it's
Like
heavier
dampens?
and
Yeah.
there's dampening of vibrations, so it's nice and. You hear that? Let me put
I
it
can
in
hear
front.
it. Yeah. Oh yeah. How do you not hear that, Daniel? Like, check your
I'll hear
ears,
it in
bro.
post.
Okay.
Pretty cool. I love this keyboard.
Yeah.
Is it
I
the
love
same
mine, too.
company? Did your
I
company
don't know
make
what yours
both?
is. Oh no,
Oh,
yours
okay.
is
Mine's another Chinese company, I think.
yeah. Well, mine's Chinese too. It's called the RTC Nimbleback, I think.
Mine is called the
Yours is
Royal Kludge.
Royal Kludge, yes.
Royal
Kludge. Kludge, yeah.
The RK71.
Kludge.
Nice.
It's Bluetooth as well.
That's cool.
You can switch it on and off.
I was thinking about getting one for downstairs just to have on the shield if I need to type stuff. And
Yeah, this one's really tiny. You can even get it smaller than mine. And it gets rid of like the insert and home buttons and all that. And it just
Yeah.
squashes it a little bit even more.
yeah, that's like a 60% or something.
I think that's what Kelvin has over at Gaming Duo.
Didn't he say he wanted to get another one?
Yeah, but he has the tiny one. It's like
Yeah.
fucking tiny. Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
That's it.
Is that it for today's episode?
I think
I
so.
think we want to know if anyone has tried any of these weird things or what their favorite gaming accessory is back in the day. We would love to hear that.
You know who's probably used all of these?
Snake
Aaron
Factory?
from Super Pod Saga.
Why do you say that?
If he's listening, because he plays and uses the strangest shit, that guy. And he's played games that I've never even fucking, like old games. So I'm sure he's fucked around with one of these things.
At least.
He's had to have.
Maybe the sewing machine.
the sewing machine Game Boy, the fishing
fuck.
thing.
Yeah.
Maybe the sky. What the hell was the stick station? Maybe.
The stick station, the block of wood.
We'll have to ask them
I have held a block of wood.
when we join them on their show coming up. I don't know if I'm allowed
true,
to say
true.
that, but
Well, we'll
Okay.
stay tuned.
Spoiler alert.
see. Stay
Yeah.
tuned.
Well,
Papa
let us know.
John.
Like I said, let us know if you have anything else that maybe we didn't mention that should be mentioned. Give us a tweet.
Honorable
Tweet
mention.
us. But that's it for this week's episode. Thanks for tuning in. Give us a rating and review on Spotify or Apple or your platform of choice if you could. It helps get us out there to more listeners that may enjoy the show. And if you have anything you want to share with us about Diablo 4 or gaming accessories, you can always leave us a comment on the video or tweet us at Elder Trolls Pod if you want to make a comment, shit talk us, or ask any questions. Thanks again, and we hope you have a wonderful day.
Peace.
See ya.